Lingportal Online School presents
Modals, permissions and obligations. Every day we come across situations where something is allowed or not allowed, or we hear that we must or have to do something. We deal with permission and obligation all the time, whether we notice it or not. Here are some examples. At a red light, you must stop. That's a prohibition. On a bus, you ask, "Can I sit here?" That's asking for permission. At home, you have to cook dinner. That's an obligation. Understanding modal verbs like can, must, and have to helps us talk about rules, ask for permission, or say what's allowed and what's not. Permission. Let's start with permission. That's when we want to say something is allowed, or when we want to ask if we're allowed to do something. In English, we often use special verbs called modal verbs to talk about permission. Modals are helping verbs that go before the main verb and don't change form. They help us express things like possibility, necessity, or in this case, permission. To talk about permission, we usually use these modal verbs: can, could, may. Let's look at how each one works and when to use them. Can, the most common and informal way to ask or give permission. Examples: can I go to the bathroom? You can use my bike. Can I make a suggestion? Could, more polite and a little more formal than can. We use could to ask for permission, but not to give it. Here are some examples. Could I borrow your pen? Could I ask you something? Could I leave a bit earlier today? May, the most formal way to ask for and give permission. It's used in polite requests and often in written rules or formal situations. Examples: may I speak now? May I see your passport, please? Students may enter after 9 a.m. So remember, can, informal, could, polite and more formal, may, formal. Prohibition. Now, let's talk about when something is not allowed. This is called prohibition. It means there is a rule or situation that forbids an action. You are not allowed to do it. Just like we use modal verbs to give permission, we also use modal verbs to say something that is prohibited. The two most common modal verbs for prohibition are can't, mustn't. Can't means you're not allowed to do something. Examples: you can't smoke here. Visitors can't enter this room. Mustn't, even stronger than can't. It's used for rules and serious warnings. Examples: you mustn't touch the wires. Students mustn't cheat in exams. So remember, can't, used in everyday situations to say something is not allowed. Mustn't, strict and used for strong rules or warnings. Obligation. Now let's look at obligation, when we need to do something because it's necessary or required. We also use modal verbs have to, must. Have to means it's necessary, but it often comes from outside, like rules or routines. Here are some examples. I have to go to work at 8. She has to wear a uniform at school. The situation or rule makes it necessary. In everyday English, have to is more common, especially in questions and negatives. Do you have to leave now? You don't have to come if you're busy. This means it's not necessary, not a prohibition. Past form is had to. I had to cancel the meeting yesterday. Must shows strong obligation, often from laws, rule, or a personal feeling of responsibility. Examples: you must wear a seatbelt. This is a legal obligation, you have no choice. I must finish this today. A strong, personal decision. No past form for must. We use had to instead. I had to leave early. So remember, have to shows external obligation, rules, schedules. It is for everyday use. Must shows strong or official obligation, sometimes personal. Use had to instead of must for the past. Test. Let's check your understanding. Choose the correct option in each sentence. May I use your charger, please? You mustn't cheat on the test. It's against the rules. Cyclists have to wear a helmet on this road. You can't park here. It's a no parking zone. When we were kids, we could stay up late on weekends. Great job! Now you know how to talk about what's allowed, what's not allowed, and what you must do using modal verbs. Remember, use can, could, and may to ask or give permission. Use mustn't and can't to say something is not allowed. Use must, have to talk about obligations. Tricky question. How do we say that there is no obligation, that something is not necessary? Write your answer in the comments and don't forget to include an example. If this video was helpful, give it a like and stay with us for more easy and clear grammar lessons. See you in the next lesson.